The number one question doctors taking OET ask me is, how can I get a high score in my OET letter? Maybe you're currently getting C's or even D's in your practice writing tests. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you a Grade A sample letter and explain how you can get a Grade A as well. Keep watching until the end, where I'll reveal a bonus tip for the best way to end your letter that you won't want to miss. Today, we're looking at a model answer for the Priya Sharma case notes. You can find these case notes and model letter on the OET website, and I will also link them down in the description below. First, let's take a look at the task. In this writing task, you are writing a letter of referral, and your reader is an endocrinologist. And the purpose of your letter is going to be to request further management of the patient's sugar levels. So from the task, we've got our reason for writing and information about our recipient. It's very important that we understand this information before starting the letter. Now let's look at each section of the letter, and I will explain why this candidate got a high score. So here is our letter, and you can see immediately that this candidate used an appropriate letter format. They've organized the information into clear paragraphs of appropriate length, and they have used an appropriate sign-off. Let's take a look in more detail now at each section. You will use the same format for all of your OET letters. That means starting with the address of the recipient that you will find in the task, including the date of writing for your letter, the title and surname of the recipient. So in this particular task, we know that we're writing to another doctor and we have their surname. So the candidate has written Dear Dr. Smith. If you don't have the name of the person you're writing to, you can simply write their job title. For example, Dear Doctor. Never write Dear Sir or Madam in your OET letter, as this is not appropriate. And then you will include a line where you introduce the patient. So you put their name, and their age or date of birth. So we can see here that this candidate has started their letter in the most appropriate way. And this is how you will start your letter every time. The address, the date, Dear plus the name of the recipient, and a line to introduce your patient. Now let's look at the first paragraph, which is a very important part of your letter. This candidate's first paragraph is only one sentence, but usually one sentence is enough. So you can see that they have clearly stated the reason for writing, which is requesting further management of this patient's blood sugar levels. And the purpose of the letter is immediately apparent from the very start, and this is important. They've also used a relative clause, which is really useful grammatical structure that you can use in that opening paragraph because it adds extra information. In this case, we've added the information that the patient is a type 2 diabetic in a nice, clear and concise relative clause. Now you want to get this first paragraph right because it's the first impression that the examiner will see of your letter, and it's also where you can start to satisfy the criteria for purpose. Remember, purpose assesses your ability to make your reason for writing immediately clear and apparent, and expand sufficiently upon this in the rest of your letter. So that first paragraph should address your purpose, your reason for writing. And if you don't know how to use relative clauses, make sure you learn because it's a really useful grammatical structure for this part of the letter. Now moving on to the next paragraph, and at this point you'll need to decide how you're going to order the information appropriately, whether that's starting with the patient's medical history or the presenting problem. You need to think about the most logical way to present the information for your reader. Remember, not all OET letters will be the same, so let's take a look at this letter and see how they've decided to order the information. This letter starts with the patient's medical history, which is the most appropriate way to order the information given the particular task that they are completing. We can also see that this letter only includes what the reader, an endocrinologist, needs to know to continue treating the patient. So there's information about blood sugar levels and how they're managed at home, the family history of diabetes, which of course is relevant in this case, weight, and the eye examination. So this candidate has selected the medical history, which is relevant and specific for this particular reader. So 2 things to note here. First, think very carefully about the order of the information, the order in which you will present it in your letter, and also exactly which information you're going to include. What is relevant for this reader and this particular situation? Now, if you're finding this video useful and you would like a step-by-step guide to make letter writing easy, I've made a video for that, which I will link in the description below, and you can check that out after this video. Now, let's look at the next 2 paragraphs in this letter. So we have a new paragraph now to introduce the presenting problem. Remember that each paragraph should only contain one particular topic and theme. We can see from this paragraph that it includes details on the relevant test results and medication that the patient is taking. They've used past tenses accurately. That's another thing you need to pay attention to in your letter, your use of tenses. And the information is presented clearly and concisely. So this letter would get a high score in conciseness and clarity because, as you can see, they've only included the essential information, and that information has been presented in a very clear and concise manner. Moving on to the next paragraph, which introduces the treatment given to the patient, and here we find our request for further action. And another reason why this letter would score highly is because they've used cohesive devices. You can see some examples in this paragraph, such as since then, but, and therefore. Using cohesive devices like this makes your letter more clear and easy for the reader to understand. Another strength of this letter is that the purpose has been sufficiently expanded upon in the last part of the letter. There's a very clear request for further action, so keep that in mind when you're writing your own letters. Now, I mentioned at the start that my bonus tip for how to end your letter will come at the end. Well, here it is. Now, this letter hasn't included a final sign-off, but I recommend that you do. And here is a nice polite sentence that you can use for your letters to end them appropriately. If you require any further information, please do not hesitate to contact me. This final sign-off line will be appropriate in almost all letters, so feel free to write that down and use it in your next practice letter. Finally, let's look at how to end your letter, so the very last thing that you will write. And some candidates do struggle with this because they're not sure whether they should write yours faithfully or yours sincerely. Let me show you. In this letter, the candidate has used yours sincerely, and that is because they have addressed the letter by the recipient's name. So if you write Dear Dr. Smith, for example, you use yours sincerely. If you've just written Dear Doctor because you don't know their name, you use yours faithfully. So keep that in mind the next time you write your letter, and you can simply end it with your profession, which is doctor. So there we have it, a perfect example of a grade A letter for the OET writing test. I hope that you found that useful and you are now ready to go away and practice writing your own letters. If you are looking for more helpful tips and advice from the OET experts, I would like to invite you to our free OET Fast Pass Masterclass where you can get more advice like this. All you have to do to sign up is click on this link, and I will see you there very soon.